Hello friends and viewers, my name is XentziS, or Chris if you're feeling more informal, and today we're going to be breaking down the brand new Space Marine 2 trailer that was unveiled at the Game Awards Thursday night. Now this isn't a live reaction video, as I recorded at the day of release, but I will leave a link to that in the description below, so make sure to go check that out. If you're new to Warhammer 40k, the gist is that in the 41st millennium, there is only war. Humanity is in a technological dark age, and we are beset on all sides by every single alien race that we have encountered. Amongst the defenders of mankind's own Imperium of Man are the Space Marines, genetically enhanced superhumans that are armed with the best equipment that we have available, that are sent to go fight the foes that humanity is not able to fight with regular mortal soldiers. So without further ado, let's go ahead and watch the trailer through together, and then we'll go through it a second time and talk about the little details that stand out.
Command! This is first platoon! We've lost the square! We can't hold it!
Pretty goddamn exciting, huh? Let's go ahead and kind of break that down just a little bit, because there's a lot that if you blink, you'll miss it. There's a handful of really subtle details. The attention to detail they put in this trailer was awesome. Now, granted, it's just a CGI cinematic, so there's no saying that that will necessarily bleed into the gameplay, but there's hope. Because they, as I said, we'll talk about some of the details that I really enjoyed. First, there's this subtle call out to the start of Space Marine 1, the Thunderhawk approach from space. Now, Thunderhawks, which are the ships that they flew in on, are not necessarily, they're not deep space capable. So we know that there's another battleship out there that brought them. There's also more Thunderhawks in this game's intro, or this cinematic at the least, than there were in the first game, as there was only one Thunderhawk at the start of Space Marine. Another really nice little detail that I like, the hive spires kind of poking up above the clouds. Cities in Warhammer are called hives because they are akin to insect hives. They go deep underground and deep into the sky, and humans just... You could probably fit the entire population of modern-day Earth on one hive city in Warhammer 40k. There are a lot of people. As we continue, you can see more of the hive cities as they fly in. That first Aquila which immediately told us this is Warhammer. And there we get to see the enemies of a game for the first time, the Tyranids, which are a hive mind of xenomorph-like creatures that come to a planet and they devour everything organic on it and then have it basically slurped up by their ships. And then they leave planets as barren rocks. So we can kind of see them roaring in anger at their new foes. And then we get to see Imperial Guard being overrun.
Company command! This is first platoon! We've lost the square! We can't hold it!
And then the Space Marines arrive. Literally shattering the ground with their impact. Now, this is very important. You can glean a lot from this image. So I believe this individual here is a sergeant. This one right here is a regular Marine. And this one bears the markings of a lieutenant. You will also notice that their armor is Primaris, meaning that they are new Space Marines. I can talk about that a little more in a different video because it's a lot to unpack in just a reaction/breakdown video. But these are relatively... This game is set in the more current Warhammer 40k setting. Because Warhammer 40k spans back as far as the year 30,000 and even 29,000, all the way up to now 41,000, which is where the Primaris Marines step in. This is very current. There's also a chain on his hand, but we're going to talk about that more later in the video. Also, I want to talk about how awesome the music is. The music, they hit right on the head. It sounds very much grimdark, gothic atmosphere as far as audio. And I love that. I hope to hear more of that in the actual game as well, not just in the trailer. The little detail with the blood spurting. I really like that. And you can just kind of see the Imperial Guard watching in awe. Most humans won't ever see a Space Marine, let alone see them in combat. It doesn't matter that they're on your side. It is terrifying to behold. Another nice little detail here is the head crush. Without even focusing on it, just kind of happens. He doesn't do it intentionally. And then he kills the warrior, and then he tears off its head. And then another nice little detail is as soon as the warrior is dead, all the other little Hormagaunts and Termagants flee because the warrior is their connection to the hive mind. Tyranids have leaders that disperse throughout the horde that control all of the minions and keep them following the commands of the ships up in space. Without the warrior, they revert back to beast-like instincts and they flee. And you can see the guardsmen just kind of hiding behind. And then they all bow before these superior beings. Completely awestruck. Now, another nice little detail that I just caught, actually, this is a live catch, is the purple eyes. So you can tell these Arcadians, which are the most well-known Imperial Guard regiment. They were the ones that guarded the planet right outside of the Eye of Terror, which again is quite a can of worms to open up. It's a big deal in the current Warhammer lore, actually. Now, I completely forgot to point out earlier in the video the chain around his hand. So, and if you haven't played Space Marine 1, you might want to skip ahead a little bit so you don't hear about this part. But assuming that you've played Space Marine 1, you'll remember that a certain individual was taken away by the Inquisition and the Black Templars. The Black Templars are the sons of Sigismund, who was a Imperial Fist champion, the first Emperor's champion during the Horus Heresy. And he was known to wrap chains around his arm and chain his weapon to his hand in the style of a World Eater's. He was a good friend of Karn before Karn became Karn the Betrayer. And so the Black Templars have inherited this tradition amongst their warriors. And this captain is using this tradition that the Black Templars use. This lieutenant, I'm sorry. Also, you'll notice there's an inquisitorial eye on the chain as well. So whoever this individual is has had dealings with the Inquisition and most likely the Black Templars. And then he unmasks. And you can see that it is the face of none other than who was Captain Titus in the last game. He also has more service studs than he had in Space Marine. Now, I see a lot of people talking about how this means the game is set 200 years after Space Marine 1. That's not entirely accurate. At least we're not sure. At least according to traditional Ultramarine lore, every gold stud that is implanted into your head is for 100 years of service. So we know that by the time of Space Marine, he has served for at least 200 years because he has 2 studs. He has 4 now. Depending on how far he is into his 3rd century at the time of Space Marine 1, and how many years he is into his 5th century at the time of this game, it could be as few as 100 years and as many as close to 300 years between the last game and this one. We're going to hopefully find out what has happened between the games, but there's been a lot of ground that has been lost since the last time we saw Titus. I also like the little lip curl, the little snarl that he has, viewing the chaos that is unfolding on this world with the Tyranids attacking it. It's another nice little touch. And then we see the title roll. And then we get a brief glimpse at gameplay. We see a new Primaris assault pack. We see a ridiculous scale of enemies that we are expected to be fighting in this game. A view of the Imperial Guard and Imperial Guard tanks, more melee combat, and then a bit of the scenery in the game. As far as what the hives are going to look like, what the kind of enemies we're going to be seeing. We got a couple of glimpses of gargoyles. We got to see some hormagaunts and termagants. It's looking to be shaping up really, really well. So, if you made it this far, I appreciate you watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'm very new to doing YouTube videos like this, so if there's any constructive criticism you'd like to leave, I would definitely appreciate it. Leave a like if you liked the video. Leave a dislike if you didn't like the video. I can kind of gauge what I'm doing well and what I'm not doing well based on your guys' responses. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, let me know. I would definitely like to start doing videos about Warhammer lore, and if there's enough of a demand for it, I could start putting out some videos. I stream pretty frequently on Twitch, lots of Warhammer games and other games, so feel free to check that out. And I also have a Discord, so if you want to talk about Warhammer with other Warhammer fans, go ahead and hop in there. You'll get notifications when I post YouTube videos and when I'm live on Twitch. Again, thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to like, subscribe, comment, whatever it is you feel the desire to do. And I will see you guys whenever I see you next. Ave Imperator.